Yo, what's good people? So the new Incursions event has just dropped, and in the top milestone there is a 7-star Incursion Selector where we will be able to pick out of 7-star Captain America Infinity War, Angela, Mojo, Namor, Ronin, and of course Hulkbuster. And I think Hulkbuster is by far the best option out of those to pick for not only Battlegrounds but for general content. I think he's an amazing champion to have for Battlegrounds, War, and story content. So I figured I'd do a little rank 4 showcase on him. First fight here we have a Nick Fury. Now the biggest problem with Hulkbuster is the stand your ground mastery. A lot of people think that ruins him, and it does to a degree, but even if you can't spam heavy attacks with Hulkbuster in the corner because of stand your ground, he still does very decent damage with the special 2 and his basic attacks. After you throw your special attacks, that does actually apply a armor break, so you do start doing a decent amount of damage of just your specials and your basic attacks. For a majority of these fights, I am going to be using the heavy spam in the corner rotation, but there are a few fights like against Onslaught and against Dust where I don't spam heavy attacks and just use my special 2 and basic combos, and you'll see those fights are surprisingly fast as well. But with the heavy spam, he's quite insane. That was a 39-second Jean Grey, one of the trickiest defenders in the entire game, and he makes her so easy because it's really hard to mess up to Jean Grey if she never throws a special attack, because that's where most of her threat on defense comes from. Now we have a Nico, the massive feminist. At the start of this fight, you will start out with a passive poison on you because Hulkbuster starts the match out with a armor up buff. Well, he won't against Nico because of the stupid balanced buff immunity, and that's what makes him get the poison at the start of the match. But you'll take about 10% damage loss, and after that it's a great fight for Hulkbuster, because again the main problem with Nico is her spamming her special attacks, reactivating that buff immunity and going invisible, causing burst damage through your block, all that stuff, and power controlling her stops all of her nonsense on defense basically. So Hulkbuster is a fantastic counter to her. Now we have a Onslaught. Despite being a metal champion, Hulkbuster does actually have some energy resistance. I believe each armor up buff he has grants him energy resistance, so he does take less neuroshock damage, and you can use the trick where you block a single hit of Onslaught special 1 to gain the debuff, to gain some willpower regen. And you can see there, I didn't land any heavy attacks in that fight, and that was still a 43-second fight, which is really solid. He still does very good damage even against shock immune champions, because with the power control he has, it just lets you stay super aggressive. You can land a lot more hits, you can stay way more aggressive than you can with other champions. So he still does a very nice amount of damage, especially when he crits. You can see there, that was a pretty big special too. 53k on the first hit and another 20k crit in there. If all hits of the special 2 crit, you're looking at like 100 to 120k damage there, plus the burst damage, because Hulkbuster's special 2 does extra burst damage for each bar of power you drain off the opponent. I'm sure most of you already know how to play this, guys, so that's why I haven't dived into that yet. But if you don't know, basically all you want to do is hit your opponent, push them to 3 bars of power, then you want to do the massacre trick where you slow your combo, and if you slow your combo then throw your special 2, the opponent will block it, and if you throw your special 2 into the opponent's block, you will fully power drain them and power lock them for a short period. So he does have some of the very best power control in the entire game, and I actually do not have him on my main account, so I will 100% be picking him. I think he's insanely fun to play, I think he's very useful, and he will actually be useful for this season in Battlegrounds because the node is polka dot power, and of course he has very easy access to shocks off that heavy attack, so he will synergize perfectly with that node. He will put in a lot of work, Here we have a Domino. He doesn't outright counter Domino, but he doesn't have too much stuff to fail, so Domino won't fail too many of his abilities, which means you won't take too much critical failure damage. And again, he has that energy resistance from the armor up buffs, so he does take less damage when he does get crit failed. And that was a 31-second fight, one of the fastest fights in this video. Now we have a Sasquatch, biggest health pool in the game. Not the trickiest defender anymore, but I just wanted to see how he performed against the biggest health pool in the game. Keep in mind, Sasquatch is armor break immune, so we are losing out a bit of damage here. Oh yeah, after you've used your special 2 in a corner, by the way, you're safe to just go straight in for a heavy attack. The spacing is there. You can't do it on every single defender in the game, but with most defenders, you are completely safe to just go in with a heavy attack and start spamming them in the corner. And yeah, he gets this down pretty well, even with Sasquatch being armor break immune. I did also try him against Rintra, but Rintra's neutralized completely messes up this fight because Hulkbuster's unblockable, which he gets off the special 2, is actually a buff. So if you try to use that against Rintra, he's just going to neutralize it. So you can't really throw your special 2 into his block unless you wait out the neutralize. And if you do that, it's just going to be a slow fight. Now, of course, with the easy access to armor breaks this guy has, perfect Killmonger counter. Even though he does have the shock debuffs, doesn't really matter. Yeah, you just get that armor break straight off your special attacks, and that completely shuts this guy off, so you don't really have to worry about anything. But yeah, I do think Hulkbuster has been underrated for a very long time. I'm surprised more people haven't used this guy. I know plenty of people do already have him. That was an 82k special 1. When he crits, he does hit very, very hard. Now we have a matchup which you probably didn't think this guy could do. Deathless Thanos, plus disadvantage, all that stuff, but Hulkbuster doesn't have that many hits in his combo. His heavy attack is only a single hit, so you're not going to feed the counter punch charges too much, so Thanos isn't going to go unstoppable. And I find it best to just use special 1s in this matchup. This could be even faster if we got better crit RNG, so keep that in mind. Like, Hulkbuster is genuinely a pretty decent counter for Deathless Thanos, which surprised me, man. But yeah, this fight is actually pretty solid. Got a nice crit there. Every time the heavy crits, it's like 50k or close to it. And yeah, you do want to heavy counter Thanos' special 1 in this match. It does do a bit of block damage though, so keep that in mind. But yeah, for a tech champion versus Thanos, under a minute is great. And now we have a Zola, bro, and again, he's actually a perfect counter to this guy. You can heavy counter Zola's heavy attack, and again, it's guaranteed. It's, oh shit. Oh, this is the fight I messed up, bro. Oh, it's too late to edit this out now. Oh, I fumbled the editing, boys. I fumbled the editing. Hold up. Just this is awkward. But, you know, I'm already doing the voiceover now, and I've already got the face cam rolling. So, yeah, in these videos, you know, I don't get every fight perfect the first time I do it sometimes. So, this is the second try on Zola. Just ignore that happened. And this is going to go much better, bro. So basically, you can heavy counter Zola with your heavy attack. And it's guaranteed with Hulkbuster. It's very easy to do. You just want to start charging your heavy attack when Zola throws the first hit of his heavy attack. And it's pretty much a guaranteed counter. So you can remove all his charges. And it's very good, very based. And of course, Hulkbuster has that nice power control. So you don't have to deal with that annoying disintegration of Zola's special 2. But yeah, I can't believe I didn't clip that out, bro. I mean, could I like go back and clip it out now? Yes, but that means I'd have to do the voiceover all again. And I cannot be arsed with that, bro. I have shit to do. I want to go to bed. So I will pass on that. But anyway, that was a very quick Zola fight. And now we have this Photon. This took me like 3 or 4 tries to do. Not the biggest fan of this fight, because it's kind of hard to get Photon locked in the corner without her throwing a special attack and without being able to parry her. But if you are able to get her locked in the corner, it's same as usual. You just power control her, and Photon really doesn't have much defensive threat if she can't throw any special attacks. A lot of defenders really rely on their special attacks to actually be a threat to you, and that's why power control is such a strong utility and a rare utility. You don't see many champions actually have access to power control, and for a very good reason. It's one of the strongest abilities in the game, and Hulkbuster has one of the strongest power controls there is. Last fight of the video, this is a 1.2 million health Mysterio boss. Just wanted to see how fast he could take down a large health pool. Ignore the Bible notification, it's just telling me I need Jesus because I play Mcoc. But yeah, he actually does this fight really fast. I believe it's around 60 seconds. And we just heavy spam this guy in the corner, and Mysterio does not throw a single special attack in this fight. By the way, Hulkbuster does have a very good stand-up intercept. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed like a Koye's is, but it is really nice and it's reliable most of the time. Getting some nice heavy crits there. Missed the stand-up intercept there, which was unfortunate, but more times than not it does land. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video, fellas. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Support the channel, leave a like, share it to your nan, and I'll see you all in the next video.